My dead girlfriend keeps messaging me on Snapchat. I remember when I got the notification that my girlfriend messaged me on Snapchat. She was killed 3 years ago, so I knew this had to just be a glitch. I was wrong though, and I would soon discover the horrifying truth behind my girlfriend's disturbing messages. 3 years ago today, my girlfriend Emily was killed in a horrific car accident. It was the worst day of my life, and not only did I lose her, but I lost our beautiful baby girl she was pregnant with. We had been dating for 5 years at that point. She wasn't big on the idea of marriage, but if she had been, I would have married her within 3 months of our relationship. She was vibrant, charming, funny. That being said, she wasn't perfect. She always said something along the lines of, "If I kick the bucket first, don't just say good things about me." I've never liked that. I've got so many flaws, and that's just part of me. So, this is for Em. The music she said she liked and the music she actually liked were very different. Her idea of affection was a side hug. She had really long toes, like a chimpanzee. Over the years, I had slowly managed to move on from her death, but after the horrifying messages I received from her today, I don't think I'll ever be able to forget about her again. September 4th, 2017. This is when it began. I had left Emily's Snapchat account activated so I could send her the occasional message, and look back at all of the naughty photos she had sent me. I'd be lying if I said I didn't beat one out every once in a while to her. It felt too final to memorialize her account like that. Her mother Susan also has access to the account, so I immediately assumed it might be her. I messaged her, and to my surprise she said she had never used the account, so I instantly assumed this was one of her more tech-savvy friends messing with me in the worst possible way. I noticed pretty much immediately that whoever was chatting with me was recycling old messages from Em and mine's shared chat history. The wheels on the bus comment was from when we were discussing songs to play on a road trip that never happened. A few weeks later, Emily started posting stories and tagging me in them. I would get notifications for them, but the tag would generally always be removed by the time I got to it. The first time I actually caught one, it felt like someone had punched me in the gut. It was a photo of the pregnancy test when we found out she was positive. I was devastated. Around this period of time, I stopped being able to sleep. I was too angry to sleep. She would continue to tag her and I in random photos every couple of weeks. The friends who noticed and said something to me about it thought it was a messed up bug. I found out recently that there have been friends who have noticed and didn't say anything. Some of them have removed me from their Snapchat friends list. At this point, some of you may be wondering why I didn't just delete the profile. I wish I had. Letting it stay up was one of the biggest mistakes of my entire life. On days when I can't get out there, though, it's nice having my friends available to chat. It's nice visiting Em's page when the little Bitmoji isn't next to her name. I was already socially reclusive when Em was alive. Her death turned me into something pretty close to a hermit, and now Pokemania and MMOs are my only real social outlets. On March 15th, I sent what I assumed was Em's hacker a message. On March 25th, I received an answer. My response seems kind of lackluster here. I was intentionally providing them with emotional bait to keep them interested in their game. I was working off the assumption that the kind of person to do this would be the kind of person that would thrive on the distress of others. I was posting in tech forums, looking for ways to track this person contacting Snapchat. I needed to keep them around so I could gather evidence. Before anyone asks, yes, I had changed the password and all security info countless times. A few months later, I finally got a response. This seems like word salad. Like all our conversations so far, it's recycled from previous messages she sent. I hadn't discovered any leads. Snapchat had told me the locations her page had been accessed from, but since her death, they're all places I can account for. I felt like I was at a dead end. Whoever was doing this was completely ruining my life. Her last few messages had started to scare me, but I wouldn't admit it at this point. Freezing is the first original message they've sent me. This has given me nightmares that have only started to kick in recently. I keep dreaming that she's in an ice-cold car, frozen blue and gray, and I'm standing outside in the warmth screaming at her to open the door. She doesn't even realize I'm there. Sometimes her legs are outside with me. I wasn't actually drunk. She wasn't an affectionate girl, and it always embarrassed her to exchange I love yous cuddle, talk about how much we meant to each other. She was more comfortable with it when I was boozed up. I got fake drunk a lot. Her reply is what prompted me to finally memorialize her page, thinking it might help curb this behavior. It might seem innocuous compared to her previous message. It's pasted from an old conversation where I was trying to convince her to let me drive her home from a friend's. In the collision, the dashboard had crushed her. She was severed in a diagonal line from her right hip to midway down her left thigh. One of her legs was found tucked under the back seat. Going back in time. 7th of August, 2014. This is the day she died. She was usually home from work by 4.30. This, alongside a couple of voicemail messages, is the last time I talked to her under the assumption that she was alive. Yesterday, I finally memorialized her page a couple of days after I received the message about walking. Until today, she'd been quiet. She wasn't even tagging herself in any more of her stories. I don't know what to do anymore. Do I kill her memorial page? What if it is her? I want to puke. I don't know what's happening. I just heard a Snapchat alert. I'm too afraid to open my phone and check it.